This happened just right now, less than 24 hours. A lot of information's out there. I know nothing about Astroworld. I thought, I would think that's the Astros baseball. Uh, yeah, I'm uncool, right? But this is really important. This is all just really picking up traction on Reddit. As far as this person was there, there's a video of her. She actually made it to a oh, it's one of those camera platforms you see in the middle of a concert, and she thought she was going to die. Uh, it's supposedly this is a horrible story. I mean, it's not a horrible story. It's very heart wrenching. I've not read it. I just saw what some of the people talking about it on Reddit. I thought, hey, let's share this. This is what's it? Travis Scott's concert. Travis Scott is baby daddy, boyfriend of Kylie Jenner's two kids, or soon to be two kids. By the way, Kylie Jenner supposedly had a video up showing the crowd, and in it, the video showed a ambulance that couldn't get through. And she has since deleted that Instagram. But don't worry, she's put up softcore photos of her pregnant to replace that with. So you should all be happy that Kylie is safe. That's their narrative. Ah, what a clown world. All right. Today, this is Shauna Faith, who was the witness for this. This is her Instagram. These are her words. Today's Friday. Who I am in this story is not important. Rather, it is important the things I have now witnessed. Astroworld, Houston, Texas. Travis Scott is the only one performing. I don't know how many people were at the festival, but I know that every single person was at the stage. My friend and I wanted to be close to the stage, as close as we could possibly get. Yeah, I mean, there's like 50,000 people there. 50,000 people all want on the stage. We were not able to get very close, but we did end up on the side near the walkway in the middle, surrounding us were chest-high metal gates, barriers. We stood there for 2 hours. I'm pausing here for a second because I've been to concerts and seen this type of situation play, not to this level, but where people push forward and the barriers and stuff. And those things are very, very, very scary when because you just imagine metal being pressed against your chest, and it makes it almost impossible for you to breathe. Um, every gap was filled. Um, where your feet were placed was where they stayed. Energy rose as the time neared. Beginning the show, within the first 30 seconds of the first song, people began to drown in other people. There were so many people, tall men, women and men. Well, the only thing that they could see was the back of the person in front of them. The rush of people became tighter and tighter. Breathing became something only a few were capable of, and the rest were crushed or unable to breathe in the thick, hot air. My friend began to gasp for air as she told me we needed to get out. We tried, but there was nowhere to go. The shoving got harder and harder. If someone's arms had been up, it was no longer a possibility to put it down. See, that's another problem right there. Uh, you have no way to protect your chest when you're like that. So people began to choke one another as the mass swayed. It became more and more violent. We began to scream for help. We could see security just a few people over in the walkway in the middle. It got tighter, impossible to breathe. As our lungs were compressed between the bodies of those surrounding us, more people began to scream for help. God, sounds horrible. Some began to collapse. The music continued. Hundreds of people ripped their vocal cords apart, screaming for help. But we were not heard. There was nowhere to go. My friend was trapped between people on every side of her, and she desperately tried to move towards the rail. It was no use. The screaming intensified. As more people realized they could not breathe, we begged security to help us. for the performer to see us and know something was wrong. None of that came. We continued to drown. More and more. One person fell or collapsed. It doesn't matter how it started. Once one fell, a hole opened in the ground. It was like watching a Jenga tower topple. Person after person were sucked down. They could not guess from which direction the shove of hundreds of people would come next. You were at the mercy of the wave. I watched my friend be dragged away from me and lost sight of her. I began to realize in that moment I'm having a hard time reading this, I'm sorry. In that moment, that there is a way to die that not many people know about. I'm sorry. As I'm reading, I saw that and I just, ouch. Being trampled to death. I saw terror in every eye I met, even the ones that told me to breathe and stay calm. We knew there was a very big chance some of us would not make it out alive. I was pushed away from the rail into the crowd of people where I could hear from another direction the shrieks of animals. It was happening all around me. These sinkholes of people. I was moved back towards the sinkhole I started at and was pushed to the edge of it. I sunk my feet into the ground, put my arms out, and tried to stop anyone from entering the circle or pushing those already in it. I was shoved further to the ground, my face down at the cold, hard plastic below us, and saw the body of a man, his face below mine. His face below mine. I lost it. There were people below the ones I could see from above. There was a floor of bodies, of men and women, below 2 layers of fallen people above them. I began to shriek. And this sounds like a horror movie. I felt primal terror rip through me, and I am not sure anyone understood the magnitude of the situation below. I screamed that there were people on the floor. There were people, unconscious, being trampled by every foot that slammed into the ground. As each individual tried to keep themselves upright, I saw his face. I became a shield for him. I think he smiled at me. Then I was shoved to the side. I saw more shoes slammed to the ground, exactly in the spot his body lay, face up. I couldn't help him. I couldn't help any of them. I didn't stop screaming for the entire time. No one knew there were people below those that they could not see. I almost met the same fate. I was losing balance, and I asked the man to grab me. He pulled me up and righted myself for just a fraction of a second before I was sucked back into the crowd. I couldn't take what I saw. I had to get out. I had to get help. I had to do something. Somehow, I went towards the back of the crowd at a guardrail. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm having a hard time. This is I've never read anything like this, and as I'm reading, I can imagine. Like I see this through her eyes, and it's terrifying. This is not something I wanted to think about as I go to sleep tonight. Okay. A man pulled me over it, and there were many people just standing there like nothing was happening. Like people weren't dead a few feet from them. I saw the cameraman, eyes glued to the stage, elevated on a platform that looked directly into the crowd. I climbed the ladder and pointed to the hole, telling him people were dying. He told me to get off the platform and continued filming. I screamed over and over again. I couldn't even look in the direction. So I pushed the camera so it pointed toward where I had just come up from. He became angry. He called someone else up. I told him the same thing. People were dying. We needed to stop the music. We needed help. We needed attention towards the mass because I thought if only these people were aware, maybe they would do something. The other man grabbed my arm and told me he would push me off the 15-foot platform with no sides if I didn't get down. I told him to help. I told him people were dying. I showed him where. He wouldn't look in the direction either. I was in disbelief. Here were 2 people that could actually do something. I had the power to do something. Cut the camera, call him back up, pause something. They did nothing. I looked over at the sinkhole. People were screaming, reaching their hands towards me, calling for help. I couldn't see the floor. The strangest thing happened in that moment. People began to boo at me. They pointed their fury at me, unleashed a rage. I screamed. People were dying over and over. No one would listen. Somehow I ended up on the ladder, going back down, mindlessly. I should have ripped that camera to shreds. I looked the other guard in the eyes and told him he was the one responsible for countless deaths. He did nothing. I went under the platform, called 911. The only thing they said was that they were calling the medical team in. I told the operator over and over we needed to stop the concert because we just needed a pause. We needed light. I hate to tell you this. You stop the concert, it's going to get worse. It will. People are in a frenzy at this point. It is so sick and so weird and so unhuman to see animalistic behavior. It's just, I don't know how to describe it. I don't know why. I don't have the knowledge to explain to you coherently what is happening. But I do know it when I see it, and this is fearful. This is nauseating to me. Let's see here. We needed light, awareness of the deaths, nothing. A kid watched me under the platform, watched me break down in tears, explaining how I saw people crushed, stomped on, unconscious. He watched the operator say nothing of use to me. I went out, not sure what to do. Suddenly, two men in red medical shirts, looking confused, just bumped into me. I explained everything and told them they had gone in and saw nothing. Two girls that were in the pit with me were standing beside me. Heard that and helped explain it was there. We led them to it. They climbed the metal gates and went through the people. Those were the only ones working that were brave that night. I had endless respect for those two men. We waited, the two girls and I, and watched people being thrown over the railing, people trying to escape the cage we had been in. As you know, I think it's 9 now have died at the Travis Scott concert, Astroworld. This is the first person account of Shauna Faith on Instagram, and this is just an absolutely terrifying. I mean, I just realized I need to take a breath. Oh man, I've got goosebumps. So anyway, y'all, please pray for these people. Please pray for everyone. No one wanted to lose a life on a night that was supposed to be so spectacular and so much fun. With that, y'all, I'll leave you be. Please, just stay tuned. If I find something else, I'll try to keep this up to date. Subscribe and for further notices, and Godspeed, y'all. I mean when I say I love you, and be good to each other. Please stay safe. Till later. Hey, thanks for watching, and please go ahead and subscribe and hit that like button. Appreciate it.